Around 4 p.m., he received a ride request from a place he rarely went, the community shelter on East Maple Street. When he arrived, he saw a young woman in her late 20s, wearing a heavy beige coat and holding a cardboard box tightly in her arms. Her name was Sarah, and she was visibly nervous. Mark rolled down the window. "You need help with that?" he asked gently. She shook her head at first but then changed her mind. "Actually, yes. Please." Mark stepped out, helped her place the box in the back seat, and noticed it was filled with little handmade gift bags, each labeled with a child's name. He didn't ask questions. As they began driving, Sarah finally spoke. "These are gifts for the kids at the children's center. Their families can't afford much, so I make them myself every year." She smiled softly. "Nothing fancy. Just something so they don't feel forgotten." Mark felt something stir inside him. "You do this alone?" "Yeah," she said. "Someone has to remind them they matter." Her words hit him harder than she realized. As they reached the center, Sarah gathered the box and stepped out. Mark should have driven away, he had work. But something made him stay. Through the glass windows, he saw her handing the gift bags to the kids. Their faces lit up like the holiday lights outside. But then something unexpected happened. One of the kids, a small boy around 8 with curly brown hair, ran outside with a paper snowflake in his hand. "Sir. This is for you," he said breathlessly, holding the snowflake toward Mark. "For me?" "Yeah. Miss Sarah said you helped bring the presents. So this is your thank you gift." Mark froze. No one had thanked him in, he couldn't even remember how long. He knelt down and took the snowflake gently. "Thank you, buddy. I'll keep it safe." The boy grinned and ran back inside. Sarah walked out a moment later. "They think everyone who helps deserves something. Hope you don't mind." Mark swallowed, emotion catching in his throat. "I don't mind at all." But the day wasn't over. As Mark started to leave, the director of the center approached him. She asked if he had time to help with carrying donations inside. Mark didn't hesitate. Together, they moved boxes of food, clothes, and toys. Nothing about it was heroic, but every moment felt meaningful. Children laughed in the background. Volunteers smiled. It felt human. By the time he left, the sun had set. Mark sat in his car, clutching the paper snowflake in his hand. His eyes felt warm. It wasn't the material gift, it was the small truth it carried. Someone saw him today. Someone appreciated him. Someone believed he mattered. Driving home, Mark realized something he had forgotten in the long years of loneliness. Kindness didn't have to be loud or dramatic. Sometimes it was a handmade snowflake. Sometimes it was saying thank you. Sometimes it was helping a stranger without expecting anything in return. That night, Mark didn't just go home. He stopped by a store and bought a pack of art supplies, colored paper, scissors, markers. He didn't know exactly why, but he knew he wanted to make something for the kids, too. Over the next week, Mark kept visiting the center on his breaks. He helped set up decorations, carried boxes, read stories to kids, even fixed a broken shelf with his old workshop skills. Every time he walked in, the kids greeted him like he'd always belonged there. And slowly, piece by piece, he felt something inside him heal. The loneliness didn't disappear overnight, but now it had a counterweight: belonging, purpose, connection. Each small act of kindness built something new inside him. One afternoon, while helping hang decorations, Sarah approached him with a warm smile. "You inspire them, you know," she said. "Me?" Mark laughed. "I'm just helping." "Exactly," she replied. "You show them that good people still exist." He looked at her, struck silent. He'd spent years believing he had stopped being someone worth anything. But in this place, surrounded by laughter and kindness, he had found a version of himself he thought he'd lost forever. On the last day before Christmas break, the kid surprised him with a big poster that said, "Thank you, Mark. You made our world brighter." Tears filled his eyes as he held the poster against his chest. He felt something stronger than joy, something like hope. For the first time in a long time, he whispered to himself, faith in humanity, restored.